very good evening to all the aspirants. My name is Sumeet, and as usual, we'll start a session on current affairs. So till now, we've finished first week of September. Now time has come to take up the second week of September. Let us deep dive into the subject. The first topic is about Chiguru scheme. Recently, the Karnataka government has launched this scheme. This scheme was launched by the Minister of Women and Child Development. Minister of Women and Child Development. Who is she? She is Lakshmibai Hebbalkar. She launched a scheme called as Chiguru scheme. Now, what is this scheme? This scheme specifically focuses on elimination of malnutrition in Karnataka. Malnutrition in the state of Karnataka. It specifically targets those children who are highly affected by acute and severe malnutrition in the state of Karnataka. Now, what is the kind of approach which this Chiguru scheme is looking at? This Chiguru scheme focuses on community-led development. Community-led development as in the members of the community will be included in the part of this scheme. Say for example, the mothers, the local Asha workers, as well as the Anganwadi. All these three different organs of a household will be included into this scheme. It will be included in this scheme, and this scheme will focus on at the first stage, it will focus on elimination of acute and severe malnutrition. Now, it has been found that recently there was a static led by the central government of India, which is called as the NFHS survey. NFHS survey. This is a survey. This survey, NFHS survey number 5, National Housing Fitness Survey. This will be conducted by the central government, and the results of this survey had revealed some children of a particular age group and of particular districts which were highly affected by acute and severe malnutrition. Now, based on these stats, the government is trying to target this scheme to those specific children who are located in specific districts. Let us look at those districts in which this Chiguru scheme is highly targeted. The first one is Bidar. In the district of Bidar, this scheme will be launched on a pilot basis. Bidar, Kalburgi, Yadgir, Raichur, Bellary, Vijaypura, Belagavi, and Chitradurga. These are the districts which are the focus of this newly launched scheme. This scheme was launched in the Suvarna Sauda of Belagavi, just day before yesterday. Is that understood? So these are the target districts. Some districts of Kalyan Karnataka and some districts of Kittur Karnataka are a part of this scheme, right? The most important point which you'll have to keep this from exam perspective is that this scheme is launched to eliminate or tackle malnutrition in the state of Karnataka. I hope every point from this particular scheme is clear. Let us go to the next topic. Next topic, we'll talk about the national affairs. Recently, Vice President of India was elected. The name of the new Vice President is C.P. Radhakrishnan. Since everyone is aware of this fact, now let us discuss about the method or the procedure to elect the Vice President of India. To elect the Vice President of India, there is a special electoral college. Now, this electoral college consists of members of both the houses of the parliament. When I use the word both the houses, please understand, first house is Lok Sabha and the other house is Rajya Sabha. Members of both the houses of the parliament are a part of this electoral college. Now, apart from that, what you'll have to keep in mind is that both the members elected as well as nominated members of both the houses of the parliament are a part of this electoral college. Remember, in the president's election, the nominated members are not a part of this entire electoral college, whereas when it comes to vice president, the electoral college consists of both elected as well as nominated members of both the houses of the parliament. Now the mode is proportional voting through single transferable vote. This is the method, proportional voting with a single transferable vote. This is the entire procedure of electing the vice president of India. When I use the word proportional voting, you'll have to keep in mind that all the members of these electoral college will be given one vote, and this one vote is equal for all the members of parliament. There will be no distinction. Say for example, if prime minister is voting, the value of prime minister's vote will be as equal to any nominated or elected MP voting, right? It will be the same. That you'll have to keep in your mind. And apart from that, the other point is that the voting talks of single transferable vote. What do you understand by that? Please understand, whoever is participating in the vice president's election, he has to gain a majority of votes. When I use the word majority, please understand there is a formula set for that. And what is that formula? The formula talks of number of valid votes divided by 2, right? Number of valid votes divided by 2 plus 1. Any candidate who secures the number of votes as per this formula will be adjudged as a winner of this election. Is that understood? I hope this is clear. Let us talk about transferable votes. Say for example, if there are 3 contestants who are contesting for the post of vice president, first, second and third candidates. Now you will have to keep in mind that in a situation where none of these candidates, if they are not able to secure a majority as per this formula, then the entire election will be shifted through single transferable vote. Is that understood? As in every contestant will be given preferences in the ballot. Is that understood? So these members of Rajya Sabha, while voting, they will give out their preferences, right? Say for example, they will have to give a preference to first candidate. He might be considered by one candidate as second preference. For the second contestant, he might give a preference of 1, and for the third candidate, he might give a preference of 3. Is that understood? So based on these preferences, the votes will be allotted to the respective candidates. And in an event, none of the 3 participants, if they do not gain the majority by this formula, then again what will happen is that the least vote, any contestant who gets the least number of votes will be eliminated from this contest. Say for example, in our example, the third candidate, if he has got lowest number of votes, so he will be exited from the competition, and the votes that have been allocated to him will again be transferred to these 2 candidates based on the preference which the MPs have given in their ballot papers. I hope the scheme is clear, right? So this is the entire procedure of election of the vice president of our country. You'll have to keep in mind that the functions of vice president includes being a vice chairman, being a chairman of Rajya Sabha. That is one of the most important duties of vice president. And just in case if the president of India somehow resigns or expires immediately, then the vice president will have to take up the roles and responsibilities of the president. So these are some of the most important roles and functions of the vice president, right? So I hope everything is clear about the election of vice president. Let us go to the next topic. Right, the next topic is about Lankhong Puja. Recently, this puja, this topic is related to your art and culture section, right? So recently, this puja was celebrated by a tribe in the state of Assam. In the state of Assam, a tribe named as Tiva tribe. Tiva tribe celebrated this Lankhong Puja. Now, why do they do that? Please keep in your mind, this puja, this festival is celebrated every year. Every year they will celebrate this festival every year. Now, what will they celebrate in this particular festival? What they will celebrate is that they will worship the gods, to provide good harvest season, especially for the agriculture season of Rabi crops. You'll have to keep in your mind. Lankhong Puja is celebrated in the state of Assam by which tribe? By the tribe of Tiva, and it is celebrated every year. And what is the significance of this festival? The significance of this festival is that it is celebrated to worship gods and pray for them to provide a good harvest season, especially the season consisting of the Rabi season. Is that understood? So which are the Rabi crops which are grown in our country? The Rabi crops, the most important Rabi crop you'll have to keep in mind is that wheat is highly grown. Along with wheat, which is the other crop which is grown? Wheat, pulses, cotton. These are some of the major crops which are grown in the Rabi season. Then again, in the areas of Assam, please understand, wet paddy cultivation is promoted. Wet paddy cultivation. So these tribes, they majorly focus on the growth of rice and wheat and many other local crops. Please understand, rice is not a Rabi crop. It is a Kharif crop. Do not confuse this fact. It is a Kharif crop. Right? These are the important points which you'll have to keep in your mind with respect to the Lankhong Puja. Now let's talk about this tribe, Tiva tribe. This tribe is specifically known for its mongoloid features. When I use the word mongoloid, please understand, this is an anthropological classification. The mongoloid features of these tribes are very prominent. And the language which they speak, is very much similar to Tibeto-Burma language, and they share a lot of similarities with the people of Bodo and Naga people. They share a lot of similarities with Bodo and Naga. You'll have to keep in your mind that this word Tiva comes from two words, which is that T means water, Va means superior. They are water superior people, which means they are highly dependent on water which powers their irrigation. These are the important facts which you'll have to keep in your mind with respect to the Lankhong Puja, which has been recently concluded in the state of Assam. Now, since everything is clear about this topic, let us move to the next topic. Recently, in the universities of Finland, Tampere University specifically, Tampere University in the country of Finland, and the University of France, Louis Pasteur University de Mérite, Louis Pasteur University of France. Both these universities have undertaken experiments to operate a new type of computer called as optical computers. Now, what is optical computers? You'll have to understand that in optical computers, regularly in the normal computers, what do we use? We use wires, and in that wires there is a copper component, and in that copper component electrons easily flow. Now these electrons, they form a network through which information is flown in these computers. That is understood. That is how a normal computer works. But in optical computers, what you'll have to keep in your mind is that the electrons and the copper wires are replaced by photons. Photons are replaced, photons replace the electrons. and the wires are replaced by optical fibers. Optical fibers. What do they replace? Optical fibers replace the wires. Right, so they have successfully experimented an optical computer where functioning can be done through photons and with the help of optical fibers. What they have found is that these optical computers are very highly beneficial. Why? Because they provide a lot of efficiency when compared to the normal computers which are powered by electrons and wires. Point number one, there is higher efficiency. Along with that, it is also giving out a lot of equations at a much faster rate than electrons and wire based computers. Faster rate of calculation. This is the other benefit. And apart from that, they are also low in power consumption. Power consumption is low. Power consumption is low when compared to the normal computers which are dependent on electrons and wires. These are the three benefits which have been found recently by using these optical computers. Now please understand, apart from that, what you'll have to keep in your mind is that now since there are so many benefits of this computer can also be used in many applications like AI, defense, aerospace, right? Aerospace and many other, medtech and many other industries can make a very good use of these optical computers. Why? Because they are highly efficient, first one. Second one, the rate of calculation is much higher when compared to the electron and wire based computers, and after that the power consumption is also very low. That you'll have to keep in your mind. In a normal computer where electron and wires are used to transfer and transmit the information, in optical computers what are we doing? We are using photons and optical fibers. How is that done? These photons, they are generally bandwidth. They function in a bandwidth. And based, every color will be coded, and since they are based on a bandwidth, every color will be coded with information. Now based on that color itself, the entire information will be extracted from the incoming signal. So this is how the principle of optical computers is getting operated. Now this was first found in Tampere University of Finland, along with them the University Merit of Louis Pasteur, which is a university in the country of France. Since everything is clear about this subject, let us go to the next topic. Okay, the next topic is very much recent one and a very much popular one, right? So I hope everyone is aware that there were protests in the country of Nepal, and those protests were started by this Gen Z people. Please understand, when I use the word Gen Z, it means Generation Z. Now when I use the word Generation Z, I'm trying to associate an entire generation of people who are very much young, these young people. Now these young people, they have engineered a protest in Nepal. Now why have they engineered this protest? You'll have to keep in mind that the young people, they were opposing the Nepal government's ban of social media sites like Facebook, X, TikTok, and many other such sites. Well, YouTube as well, right? I hope you are getting the point, right? So many such sites, 29 to 36 sites were banned by the Nepal government. Why did the Nepal government ban these social media sites? Please understand, these social media sites, they were not following the rules and regulations set by Nepal government with respect to tax, with respect to regulations, and with respect to their own policies. When these sites, when they did not follow the rules, regulations, and tax system of the government of Nepal, ended up banning these social media sites. Now since the Nepal government did this act, this kind of triggered the young generation of Nepal, and that is why the young generation of Nepal, they started a very strong protest against the Nepali government. Now, when this protest was started, the immediate fallout of this protest was that 19 Nepali people of younger generation were killed in that protest. And when these 19 Nepali young people lost their lives, the protest turned violent. And this violent protest ended up doing what? It ended up marking the collapse of the government of Nepal, which was led by the Prime Minister KP Oli, Khadga Prasad Oli. So Khadga Prasad Oli, he resigned as a Prime Minister. Along with him, his entire cabinet has right now resigned from their respective posts. And today the parliament of Nepal stands dissolved. The parliament of Nepal today has been dissolved, making a way for the entry of a new interim Prime Minister. What is the name of that interim Prime Minister? Please keep in your mind. The name of this interim Prime Minister is Sushila Karki. She was earlier the first woman Chief Justice of Nepal Supreme Court, and now she, with the support of Gen Z people, young crowd, she has been appointed as interim Prime Minister of Nepal, right? Is that understood? Now she has promised that there will be elections in the month of March next year. There will again be elections held in the month of March 5th again, and on those elections, whoever is adjudged the winner, he or she will form a new government in Nepal. This is with respect to Gen Z protests that has been going on in the country of Nepal. The other reason for this protest, as many experts have said, is that there is no employment, very less employment in the country of Nepal, less employment. Whereas people, children of all the strong politicians, they were living a very lavish life. And in order to oppose this state of affairs of Nepal, the young people have thrown out the government of Nepal. This is what the experts say, and many experts are also saying that these protests were again planned and engineered by a US intervention as well as Indian intervention. But however, we do not have proper verifiable resources to prove all these reports which have been coming out in the media. Is that understood? For your government perspective, for government exams perspective, I think all the points which I have said, that is more than sufficient to understand the topic. Now, since everything is clear about this topic, let us go to the next topic. The next topic is about sports. So recently, Hockey Asia Cup, which was held in India, specifically in the state of Bihar. And this Hockey Asia Cup was won by the country of India. India were adjudged as champions of Hockey Asia Cup. India defeated which country? India defeated South Korea in the finals. And India has remained unbeaten in the entire tournament. And with the lifting of this Asia Cup, the Indian hockey team already has 3 other Asia Cups, like the Asian Games Hockey Cup, then the Asian Champions Trophy of Hockey. Then apart from this, again it has Hockey Asia Cup. So this is the first time India has held all the three cups of major tournaments which were held in the continent of Asia. Now with the victory in the Hockey Asia Cup, India has already qualified for the Hockey World Cups. Hockey World Cup, which is to be held in the countries of Netherlands and Belgium. Netherlands and Belgium. With this victory, India has easily qualified. India is easily qualified for the Hockey World Cup, which will be held in the countries of Netherlands and Belgium. These are the important points which you'll have to keep in your mind with respect to the Hockey Asia Hockey Cup, right? Now, since everything is clear about this subject, now let us go to the next topic. The next topic is about the US Open. Recently, this is the fourth Grand Slam. This is the fourth Grand Slam, and these Grand Slams are held every year. These Grand Slams are held every year, right? This is the fourth and the final Grand Slam, right? So this year's US Open is won in the men's category. By Carlos Alcaraz. He defeated who? He defeated Yannick Sinner. Right? So Carlos Alcaraz has won this year's US Open Grand Slam titles. Then in the women category, the winner was Aryna Sabalenka. She has ended up winning this year's US Open title. Right? You'll have to memorize the names of the winners of all the four Grand Slams, right? So earlier, as we thought, the first Grand Slam is the Australian Open. This is the first Grand Slam. This Grand Slam will be held in the month of January. And the second Grand Slam is the French Open, or what we call Roland Garros. This will be held in the month of April, May. This will be held in the month of April and May. And the third important Grand Slam, which generally people believe in this four Grand Slams, this has much huge weightage as well as high weightage, and which is called as Wimbledon. And this is held generally in the month of June and July. And after that, the last Grand Slam is known as the US Open. This is held either in the month of August and September, right? So please, you'll have to by heart the winners of all these major titles. Why? Because a lot of questions keep on coming on this topic every year, be it in your PSI exams, FDA, FA, right? And all those exams, right? So this is with respect to the topic, right? Sports section topic. And I hope I've cleared all the questions regarding this topic quite clearly, right? So this ends my session. Thank you so much for being a part of this session. Thank you so much for joining Classic Education.